2, 3, 1. Cześć, witamy na kolejnej lekcji języka angielskiego. I cóż mogę powiedzieć, uczymy się pilnie, dobijamy do połowy naszych zajęć. Metoda jest prosta, uczeń powinien sobie odpisać tą lekcję książkową do zeszytu, wtedy jest mu łatwiej odpowiadać na pytania, a poza tym przede wszystkim ćwiczymy mówienie i rozumienie, ponieważ można być mistrzem w rozwiązywaniu zadań leksykalno-gramatycznych, a zupełnie inaczej to wygląda, jak trzeba odpowiadać na pytania z tego samego materiału i ma się to, i się nie widzi tych wyrazów po prostu, tylko się je słyszy. Okay.
So we start with revision, Unit 24, and then new lesson, Unit 25, and some grammar vocabulary exercises at the end. So remind me 5 words you remember from previous lesson.
Okay, diminish and exaggerate, exaggeration, then and then also and and shoelaces, undo.
Excellent, 5 words already.
I think there was also knit this time, or it was
No.
before?
Bruise.
Bruise, yes, bruise. Okay, yes.
Excellent, so very good. Let's continue with revision. Shield.
Shield, tarcza.
Why do the police sometimes use shields?
Police sometimes use shields to protect themselves from crowds. Okay.
Excellent. Do terrorists often kidnap people to use them as human shields?
Yes, terrorists often kidnap people to use them as human shields.
Excellent. What shields us from the sun rays?
The atmosphere shields us from the sun
Rays.
rays.
Excellent. Can the facts that we cite be shielded by laughter? Can the fact that we cite be shielded by laughter?
Yes, maybe in America the fact that we saw
can be shielded
as
by laughter.
By laughter.
Yeah,
okay.
because usually, but it happens everywhere. Like if you don't want to show people that you're sad, and yeah, you laugh.
You're sad, just I don't know.
Okay. How can you shield your eyes from the sun?
I can shield my eyes from the sun by using sunglasses.
Excellent. Do governments sometimes shield companies from foreign competition?
Yes, governments sometimes shield companies from foreign competition.
Excellent. Resist.
Resist, opierać się.
Excellent. Temptation.
Temptation, pokusa.
Very good. Tempt.
Tempt, kusić.
Very good. Would you be tempting thieves if you left something valuable on the back seat of your car?
Yes, I would be tempting thieves if I left something valuable on the back seat of my car.
Very good. Is it usually easier to resist temptation or to yield to temptation?
Is it easier to
choose between the two? Is it usually easier to resist to temptation or to yield to temptation?
It's usually easier to yield the temptation.
Excellent. What temptations have you ever had to overcome?
I've had to overcome a temptation not to eat the whole cake.
Okay. Basically, sweets.
Sweets. Okay.
What do press advertisements and TV commercials try to tempt us into?
TV commercials and press advertisements try to tempt us to buy products.
Excellent. Do most students resist the temptation to cheat in exams when they sit close to each other?
No, most students don't resist to cheat from
The temptation.
Don't resist the temptation to cheat from each other when they sit close
To one another. Excellent. What thing would be possible for you to resist?
It would be possible.
Impossible.
It would be impossible for me to resist not to learn foreign languages.
Excellent. Very good. Can children easily resist eating sweets and chocolates?
No, children can't easily resist eating sweets and chocolate.
Destiny.
Destiny, przeznaczenie, cel.
Destination.
Okay, destination, przeznaczenie, cel.
That is true.
Yes?
Destination.
Destiny.
Destiny,
przeznaczenie, cel. And destination. Miejsce przeznaczenia. Okay. Fate. Loss, fatum. Okay, yes, loss, fatum.
Are you in control of your own destiny, or do you believe you're guided by fate?
I think I'm guided by fate.
Excellent. Who decided the fate of a criminal after they've been arrested? Who decides the fate of a criminal after they've been arrested?
A judge decides about the fate of a criminal after
they've been arrested.
They have been arrested.
Excellent. How can we taint fate?
We can taint fate by putting valuables on the backseat of the car.
Exactly. Would it be a strange twist of fate if we met each other again in the same room in 30 years' time? Would it be a strange twist of fate if we met each other again in the same room in 30 years' time?
Yes, it would be a
strange
twist of fate if we met each other again in this room in 30 years' time.
Excellent. In the old times, what was usually the destiny of a king's eldest son?
The destiny of the eldest son of a king was to become a king.
Yes. Excellent. In the 19th century, what was the most common destination for refugees leaving Europe in search of a new life?
The most common destination of refugees in 19th century leaving Europe was America.
Excellent. What are the most common holiday destinations around the world?
The most common holiday destination around the world is
you said it before.
South Europe, North Africa,
South America. You can say that. Country.
West Asia, South Asia.
Or you can be specific. Be specific on like 2 places.
Or Aruba.
Island.
Aruba Islands. Mexico. Cancun. Yes. Hawaii and Mallorca.
Mallorca too. Interesting. Damp.
Damp, parowa. Wilgotny.
Dampness.
Wilgoć.
Air.
Wietrzyć. Wietrzyć.
Mold.
Pleśń.
Is it better to remove dust with a damp or a dry cloth? Is it better to remove dust with a dry or a damp cloth?
It's better to remove dust with a damp cloth.
Why?
Because dust stick to the damp cloth.
Excellent. What can a leak from a broken pipe cause in the house? What can a leak from a broken pipe cause in the house?
A leak from a broken pipe
Can
cause mold on the wall in the house.
Dampness on the walls. Which could cause
mold. Excellent.
What should you do to avoid the smell of dampness in your flat?
To avoid smell of dampness in my house, I should air the flat.
Excellent. Is it healthy to stay in a cold, damp room?
No, it isn't healthy to stay in a cold, damp room.
Why does mold sometimes grow on different foods?
The mold grows sometimes on different foods because they are damp.
Because they aren't properly stored.
Because they aren't properly stored.
Yeah, because if you, for example, usually happens on vegetables and fruits. If you store them in the different temperatures, they grow mold on them. Resemble. Resemble? Yeah, resemble someone. Resemble each other.
Yeah.
Beach.
Yeah, one moment. Resemble.
Beach.
Okay. Być podobnym do resemble.
Resemblance.
Resemblance, podobieństwo.
Excellent. Be a resemblance to. It's the same thing.
Be a resemblance.
Bear a resemblance to.
Bear a resemblance to. Być podobnym.
Do children resemble their parents?
Yes, children resemble their parents.
Do you know anyone who bears a striking resemblance to a famous person?
No, I don't know someone who bears a straight resemblance. A striking resemblance to resemblance to someone famous.
Do you know anyone who bears a striking resemblance to someone famous?
No, I don't know someone who bears a striking resemblance to someone famous.
Well, who does that person resemble? Oh, you don't know the person. Do artificial flowers resemble natural ones?
Yes, artificial flowers resemble to natural ones.
Resemble natural ones. Give me pairs of English words which closely resemble each other in pronunciation.
Words that closely resemble in pronunciation.
Each other
in pronunciation are. I don't know. Cup and cup. Cap and cup. Okay.
Excellent. Very good. Replace.
Zastępować.
Replacement.
Zastępstwo.
What has the videotape been replaced with?
Videotape has been replaced with DVD.
Excellent. Do you think that human beings will be replaced at work by computers one day?
Yes, human being will be replaced by computers
at work.
Computers at work someday.
One day.
What
usually happens if a person can't manage his work?
If someone can't manage his work, the person will be replaced by another person.
Excellent. What things in the house often need replacement?
Light bulbs often need a replacement
in the house. What do you have to do with worn out tires?
With worn out tires, I have to replace them.
Excellent. Tense.
Tense, napięcie.
Tension.
Napięty.
Tension,
napięcie.
Excellent. Massage.
Masaż.
Be tensed up.
Be tensed up, żyć w napięciu.
What do you recommend me to do to relax muscles, tense muscles? What do you recommend me to do to relax tense muscles? I recommend
you to have a massage to relax your tensed muscles.
Excellent. What's the opposite of a tense atmosphere?
The opposite of tense atmosphere is relaxed atmosphere.
Excellent. Where there are a lot of political tensions between, there a lot of political tensions between the U.S. and Russia during the Cold War?
Yes, there were a lot of political tensions between U.S. and Russia during Cold War.
Excellent. What do you do if you can't bear the tension?
If I can't bear the tension, I have to relax.
What do you do? Like specific? I scream? Do you do sports? Do you run? Do you go for a walk? I don't know.
I
Take
go
some fresh air.
sleep. I go to sleep.
Okay.
Go to bed. No.
So you don't sleep, you think the whole night. Okay. Are people tensed up before their first attempt to pass a driving test? Are people tensed up before their first attempt to pass a driving test?
Yes, people are tensed up before the first attempt of
to pass
a driving test.
Excellent. So ask me some questions with fate.
Fate. Okay, yes. Yeah, I'm missing fate too. There was a question with do you live? No, is your life? No.
Are you in control?
Are you in control? Yeah, do you think your life is driven by fate? I think that was the question.
I feel I feel like some things are driven by fate, and other things I'm in control of my own destiny. Yeah, but most of the time you're in control of your own destiny. But there are things that are driven to you by fate.
Okay.
Dampness.
Dampness. Okay, one moment. Do you think? Yes? Do you think you have a Do you think you have a problem with dampness in your bathroom?
No, you can say like that. A dampness problem, no. Probably a smell of dampness.
No.
Yeah.
No dampness problem.
Say like for example, a smell of dampness.
Yeah.
I don't know, because do your clothes, for example, have issues with like do they smell of dampness because they don't dry properly, something like that. Not your bathroom has a dampness issue.
Yeah. No, you don't have any problems with dampness in your bathroom.
No, there's no. I don't have any dampness issues in my bathroom.
Okay.
Because everything is intact.
Okay.
Okay.
And you don't have to air your bathroom.
No.
No. Okay.
Resemble.
Resemble. Do you bear resemblance to your sisters?
To my sister?
To your sister.
I think I bear some resemblance to my sister. Tent.
Are you always tempted to eat something sweet after lunch?
Are you always tempted?
Tempted, yes.
No, I'm not.
And
Always tempted to eat something sweet after lunch.
Mhm.
Tense, last one.
Tense. Mhm. Do you... Yes. Are you tensed up during the lesson?
No, I'm not tensed up during the lesson. Very good.
Okay. Mhm.
So, new lesson. Inferior, superior, inferior, superior. Opposite of the other. Inferior, you can repeat.
Inferior.
Superior.
Superior.
Inferior, translate.
Inferior, mniejszy niż rangą. Inferior.
Superior.
Superior, wyższy rangą.
Superiority complex. Inferiority complex. Rank. Sergeant. Major. Major. Sergeant. Rank. Inferiority complex. Superiority complex. Superiority complex.
Superiority complex.
Inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex.
Rank.
Rank.
Sergeant.
Sergeant.
Major.
Major.
So major, translate.
Major. Major. Major, okay.
Sergeant.
Sergeant, sierżant.
Rank.
Rank, ranga.
Inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex, kompleks niższości.
Superiority complex.
Superiority complex, kompleks wyższości.
Excellent. Do you get superiority at a low price? Do you get superiority at a low price?
Huh?
Do you get, for example, a product with a superior quality? Do you get it at a low price?
No, I don't get superiority.
Superior quality, superior only.
Superior quality products at low price.
Yeah, they didn't say product, but products make sense. You get.
You get.
Instead of superior at a low price, you get.
Inferiority.
No, inferior quality.
Inferior quality.
Do younger children usually feel inferior to their elder brothers or sisters? Do younger children usually feel inferior to their elder brothers or sisters?
Yes. Younger children usually feel inferior to the elder brothers and sisters.
Which rank in the army is superior to sergeant? Which rank in the army is superior to sergeant? The rank
of major of
captain
is superior to sergeant
in the army. What does it mean to strip a soldier of his rank? What does it mean to strip a soldier of his rank?
To strip a soldier of his rank means to punish him by giving a lower, inferior position.
Lower
position.
Or lower rank. When are you likely to feel a superiority complex? When are you likely to feel a superiority complex?
I don't know where I can feel superiority. Superiority complex. I can feel superiority complex if I live in a poor district in a big house.
Probably.
Yeah.
So one of the richest people in a village, basically.
In a village, yes.
I can understand. Yeah. Does a person who suffers from an inferiority complex usually diminish or exaggerate their achievements? Does a person who suffers from an inferiority complex usually diminish or exaggerate their achievements?
A person
Suffers
from inferiority complex usually diminish
their achievements.
their achievements.
Who can a customer complain to if an employee doesn't attend to him properly? Who can a customer complain to if an employee doesn't attend to him properly?
If an employee doesn't attend
To a customer properly, the customer can complain.
Customer can complain
To
to
the employee's
the employee's
immediate
superior.
Excellent. Motion. Motionless.
Emotionless.
Motion sickness. Signal. Motion. Motionless. Motion sickness. Signal. Motion.
Motion.
Motionless.
Motionless.
Motion sickness.
Motion
Sickness.
motion sickness. A sickness, okay.
Signal.
Signal.
Motion.
Motion.
Translate.
Motion. Ruch.
Tak, motionless.
Motionless. Bez ruchu, okay.
Motion sickness.
Motion sickness. Choroba lokomocyjna.
Signal.
Signal.
Get something in motion.
Get
Set something in motion, sorry. Set something
in motion. Wprawić coś w ruch.
Okay. What makes people seasick when on a boat? What makes people seasick when on a boat?
Motion made.
The rocking motion.
The rocking motion
Of the boat.
on the boat can make people sick.
What's motion sickness?
Motion sickness is a sickness.
And a present feeling.
It's a present feeling, yes.
People have
when they go
traveling.
when they are traveling.
As simple as that. Are you allowed to get off a train when it's still in motion? Are you allowed to get off a train when it's still in motion?
No, I am not allowed to get
Off
the train when the train is in motion.
Okay, when is a murder investigation set in motion? When is a murder investigation set in motion?
A modern
A murder investigation
is
set in motion.
Is set in motion when somebody is
when the body of a victim
has been
found.
The body of the victim has been found. Okay.
Yeah, because when they don't have the body, there's no crime, of course. The body is a proof of a crime.
Okay.
So, what can you use instead of a signal?
Instead of the signal, I can use, motion.
You can use motion instead of a signal. When is a murder investigation set in motion?
A modern investigation is set in a motion when the body has been found.
For what reasons do policemen motion for drivers to stop?
Policemen motion
for drivers
to stop by
mostly
waving.
No, mostly for what reasons?
For what reason? Police
motion for drivers
to stop
mostly
because they drove too fast.
Because of speed.
Okay.
Yeah, usually because you're speeding. What do you do when you want the receipt in a restaurant? What do you do when you want a receipt in a restaurant?
If I want a receipt in a restaurant, I motion
to
To the waiter, okay.
Motion to the waiter. What would you have to see to stand absolutely motionless? What would you have to see to stand absolutely motionless?
If I
You saw what, for example?
if I saw people, a crowd of people walking right now in the street,
You would stand?
I would stand motionless.
Yeah, you can say that. How do you signal which way you're going to turn when you're riding a bike? How do you signal which way you're going to turn when you're riding a bike?
I wave my hand
Yes.
as a signal to turn on my bike.
As a signal on
As-
which way I'm going to turn.
Okay, as a signal which way I want to turn.
Okay. You do ride a bike?
No, right now no.
Okay. What did they use as a danger or a warning signal in the past? What did they use as a danger or a warning signal in the past?
As a warning signal in the past, they used
Church bells.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently they used church bells.
Church bells.
Yeah.
Okay.
Established, establishment, mine. Mine, established, establishment. Establish,
Establish przedsiębiorstwo, założyć.
established, established,
establish, zakładać.
established,
Założony.
establishment,
Przedsiębiorstwo. To jest.
mine.
Mine, kopalnia.
Excellent. When was the European Union established? When was the European Union established?
The European Union was established in 1952.
Excellent. Which is one of the oldest businesses in the world? Which is one of the old businesses in the world? When was it established?
One of the oldest businesses in the world is
Wieliczka salt mine in Poland.
Wieliczka, the mine. Wieliczka, the salt mine in Poland.
And
Okay.
when was it established?
It was established in
1044.
1042, yes?
44.
44, 1044, okay.
Oh my god, that's like before Christ. What kind of companies have to establish strict security procedures? What kind of companies have to establish strict security procedures?
For example,
Banks.
have to establish strict security procedures.
Or which other place besides banks?
I don't know.
Jurors, people, museums.
Museums, okay.
Usually. Give me an example of a well-established company with a good reputation. Give me an example of a well-established company with a good reputation.
A good established company with a good reputation is, for example,
Give any you want. I mean, Poland, you see.
Poland is so hard. Okay, with good
Or
reputation.
in the world, I don't
In
know.
the world, reputation, good reputation is, I don't know. It's Apple maybe.
Okay,
But
Apple.
not also.
Okay. What do the police have to establish when they set a murder investigation in motion? What do the police have to establish when they set a murder investigation in motion?
If police said
Have to establish
I don't know,
the cause of death.
the cause of death
when
they set something in motion.
in modern investigation.
Modern investigation in motion.
Excellent. Is McDonald's one of the best known and well managed establishments in the world?
Yes, McDonald's is one of the best known
and
well managed establishments in the world.
Excellent. Shrink, shrunk, shrunk. Shrinkage, shrinkage. So shrinkage, shrink, shrunk, shrunk. Shrink, shrunk, shrunk.
Shrink, shrank, shrunk. Shrinkage.
Shrink, translate.
Shrink, skurczać się.
Shrinkage.
Shrinkage, skurczenie się.
Do some clothes shrink when you wash them?
Yes, some clothes shrink when you wash them.
Okay. Do you ever buy a larger size of a t-shirt to allow for shrinkage?
No, I never buy
A larger size
of t-shirt to allow
for shrinkage.
for shrinkage.
Why has the size of the workforce in Poland been shrinking since admission to the EU? Why has the size of the workforce in Poland been shrinking since the admission to the EU?
The
size of workforce.
The size of workforce in Poland
has been
shrinking
since admission
to European Union because the workforce
people migrated to other countries. To work there, basically. For which companies is the shrinkage of the dollar damaging? For which companies is the shrinkage of the dollar damaging? For those which import or those which export goods?
Depending where they are. For
the shrinkage of a dollar.
The shrinkage of the dollar for companies
is damaging.
For
those companies. Which
export in America.
Exactly. Which export goods.
Export goods in America.
Yeah. Exports from America, you mean? I think every other country that uses a dollar. Many countries use dollars as in means of international trade. So I guess they'll be affected either way. Predict, prediction, fulfill. Predict, prediction, fulfill.
Predict, prediction, fulfill. Predict, przewidywać, przepowiadać.
Prediction,
przepowiednia. Fulfill, spełniać się.
Do scientists try to learn how to predict natural disasters?
Yes, scientists try to predict.
To learn how
to predict natural disasters.
Do you think the predictions about the effect of global warming will be fulfilled in one day? Do you think the predictions about the effects of global warming will be fulfilled one day?
Yes, the prediction of...
Yes, I think.
Yes, I think the prediction of global warming will...
About the effects of global warming.
About effects of global warming will be fulfilled one day.
Excellent. What do they carry out before an elections to predict the results? What do they carry out before elections to predict the results?
I don't know what they
carry out. Survey.
Okay. They carry out
a
survey to predict the results of elections.
Excellent. Who do you predict will become the next president of your town? Who do you predict will become the next president of your town?
I think the same president will... I predict that the same president will be the next president of my town.
Again.
Again.
Do you agree with my prediction that within 20 years the domestic market for second-hand cars will shrink severely? What will happen? Okay. Do you agree with my prediction that within 20 years the domestic market, the local market for second-hand cars will shrink severely?
No, I don't think.
I don't agree
I don't agree
with your prediction.
with your prediction that
Within
that within
20 years.
20 years time the domestic market of
for second-hand
for second-hand cars will shrink
severely.
severely.
Okay, more. Okay, what functions do kindergartens fulfill? What functions do kindergartens fulfill?
And kindergartens fulfill
The function.
the functions. Oh, yeah.
The function. One
Yes.
function. Fulfill the function of.
I don't know, family.
No, preparing
Preparing children
for school.
for school. Yeah. So
Yeah.
like okay.
Prepares just children for school. Do you feel fulfilled in your job? Do you feel fulfilled in your job?
Yes, I feel fulfilled in my job.
Excellent. Gambling, payoff. Gambling, payoff.
Gambling,
Payoff.
payoff.
Mm-hmm.
Gamble, uprawiać hazard.
Gambling,
Gambling, hazard.
payoff.
Payoff, spłacać. Yes.
Excellent. What's the capital of gambling? What's the capital of gambling?
Las Vegas is the capital of gambling.
What's the most important factor in gambling? What's the most important factor in gambling?
Luck is the most important factor in gambling.
I agree. What do people try to do when they gamble? What do people try to do when they gamble?
People try to win when they gamble.
To win or to predict
The result
of a game. Because gambling means you're predicting. Yeah, this will happen. Does gambling on the stock exchange ever pay off? Does gambling on the stock exchange ever pay off?
Yes, the gambling on a stock exchange sometimes pay off.
What is often the result if a person is addicted to gambling? What is often the result if a person is addicted to gambling?
If a person is addicted to gambling,
the result is often?
The result is often that
they end up
losing
everything, having a lot of debts, losing everything. Great, so ask me questions with gamble.
Gamble. Do you often gamble?
Gamble, like the game?
Yeah.
No, I don't often gamble. I never gamble actually.
No.
Establish.
Do you want to establish a company at home?
Yes, I would like to establish a company back home in Rwanda.
Rwanda, yes, okay.
Predict.
Do you predict your establishment will be successful?
Yes, I predict my establishment will be successful. Fulfill.
And do you want to fulfill your fate in Rwanda?
No. Fulfill my fate? No.
No. Do you know what's your fate?
No, I don't know my fate.
Okay. So do you want to fulfill your
Probably
dreams
to fulfill your dreams.
in Rwanda?
Yes, I want to fulfill my dreams in Rwanda. Shrink.
Okay. Does the economy shrink in Rwanda?
Is the economy shrinking? You mean? Yeah, like any other place. Economies shrink at times or it goes up at times. Inferior? No, inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex. Okay. Who feels inferiority complex in Rwanda?
No.
No.
That is such a
Minorities, some minorities.
No, it's a not a good question. Try
No.
like be specific.
And
Don't make it general.
do new students feel minority complex among other students?
Minority?
Minority inferiority complex among other students.
Yeah, new student might feel some kind of inferiority complex to old students. Yeah, because then depending, some students, not all. Okay, last one, motion.
Motion. What do you? There was a put in motion, yes?
Yeah, set in motion.
Set in motions. What do you set in motions?
Emotion.
In motion. What do you set in motion when you come home?
What do you say? The emotion when
Set
you
is-
come home?
Yes. No,
No,
nothing.
when you come
no,
home, no.
Nothing. Okay.
No.
And what do the police set in motion when they are on duty?
No, this
No.
doesn't still make
No.
sense. Set in motion means like you do something and something causes other things to happen. So set in motion causes other things to happen. So what do they set in motion when they're duty? You can probably say, so for example, what sets in motion an investigation, for example, of, let's see, which kind of crime do you want to talk about? Robbery? For example, if somebody robs you, like what sets in motion the investigation from the police side? Or you can say, when, for example, if you commit a crime, what do you set in motion at work? For example, if I steal something here at work, what do I set in motion? Probably set in motion. Yeah. That you're probably going to install cameras from now on, or you're probably going to, things like that.
Okay, motion, yes? Motion. So, what? Okay. What motion do you have to do to ask something at school?
What motion?
What motion?
To ask something at school?
Yeah, you have to.
No, in class, for example.
In class.
What motion do you have to ask something in class? You just raise your hand.
Yes.
You raise your hand if you have a question in class, if you want to ask a question in class. Okay, so you can go to
Grammar.
Yeah. It's on after unit 23. The vocabulary.
Okay. Number one, honey is believed to be a very good remedy for common cold. Though the cut in his arm was quite deep, it took only 2 weeks to heal. Flu is highly infectious. The so-called Spanish flu is known to have killed 20 million people worldwide in 1918-1919. Horses with complicated leg break must be shot because they have a very small chance of recovery. There are more and more people who are against compulsory vaccination due to many side effects. Patsy put some ice over her eye to reduce the swelling. The doctor took his stethoscope to listen to the child's heart and breathing. When my mother noticed I was coughing up blood, she immediately made an appointment with our doctor. Judge wiped his scratched knees with some iodine to prevent infection. Her serious condition will require hospital treatment. Exercise 2. Runny nose, sneezing, common cold. Runny nose, high temperature, pains in bones, weakness, flu. Fever, shivers, vomiting, headache, malaria. Fever, headaches, muscle aches, rash, marks on the skin, smallpox. Affects immune system, no specific symptoms. Blood test is the only test to determine the disease, AIDS. Coughing up blood, chest pain, weakness, short breath, coronavirus, no lung cancer. A slight fever, spots on the skin, especially of children, chicken pox. Exercise 3. When I always feel sick when I travel by boat. When I fell off my bike, my friend asked me whether I hurt myself. I was stung by a bee and the left side of my face was swollen. Fred has been off school for 5 days due to sickness. They had compulsory vaccination at work to become immune to the new bird flu. Gail's mother took a thermometer to take her temperature. I'm warning you, I have runny nose. I have a runny nose. Her sore throat hurt so much she could hardly swallow the pillow.
Swallow the pillow?
Swallow the tablet. Here's swallow and tablet. Contagious disease spread through physical contact. Lung cancer can be cured. Care provided it is diagnosed early. Exercise 4. As the wooden chair was hard, she took a sheet. It was so strange. It should pillow put on the seat and sat on it. Okay. As the college doesn't provide enough rooms for the students in the drawer, so it's a dormitory, we will have to rent a place in the town. I was about to clarify the icon means drag the icon. to the trash when my computer got stuck.
I was about to drag.
Drag. Client sneezed, client sniffed the milk to see if it had gone sour. The company sells a wide range of furniture from office desk to chests of not cupboards but drawers, all to be assembled at home. David's mother asked him to empty his desk, dormitory, his drawer. The burglar must have emptied all our bags on the pillow and his sheet, wrapped the things in it and escaped through the window. The IBM engineer's dream of inventing a computer which will be able to click, to imitate the functions of the human brain. Let me drag my point of view, let me clarify. I simply think that he lacks the necessary experience and precedence to finish the project. I can't stand it any longer. He sniffed, also he sneezed several times this morning, waking everybody up. Ron was about to imitate, also to click his finger at the waiter, but I warned him it wasn't polite. The kitchen has built-in drawers, but here's cupboard and modern built-in equipment. So many. And yeah, I'm dying. They didn't expect the carpet treatment, so they were quite surprised when they arrived at the airport. iPod, with all its applications, is a very powerful tool for business. Noah has become a member of an important financial institution. The painful swelling on her foot appeared quite suddenly and might have been caused by some kind of infection. The health minister warned that people who belong to a high-risk group for flu should receive a vaccination. Barely 30% of people took part in the elections and voted against admission to the EU. The onion is infamous for making most people's eyes sting when they peel it. They advertise the hypoallergic wash as the best treatment for acne for teenagers. The last earthquake that almost swept off Haiti has left the citizens in a completely powerless situation. For the boy is only 9 months old and is clever enough to undo his shoelaces. The committee is a governmental organization which is supposed to deal with payment of the national debt. And the embarrassment was too great to be just swept under the carpet and forgotten. Her parents were extremely happy when she announced that after having lived with Paul for 3 years, they had decided to tie the knots. The weeping willow is a magnificent and easy recognizable tree that gives a lot of shade. My mother advised me to wrap up well as it was freezing cold outside. You will have to apply some kind of stain remover. If you want to get rid of this dirt, it is indispensable that you take a portable mosquito net with you for our trip to the Amazon rainforest. The aim of the meeting was to discuss the pros and cons of building a nuclear power station in the region. Sami regularly takes her suit to the dry cleaners. The hotel's bed, linen and towels are available to be bought in the online store. If it was so bright that she had to draw the curtains to see anything on her TV screen. Okay, and it was probably the most unexpected and furious insect attack the town citizens had ever seen. The cloud of bees was spotted over the town early in the morning. When the police and officials decided to warn the public, it was too late. The bees suddenly attacked people in the streets. Barely anyone could avoid being stung by numerous insects. However, the bee attack finished very quickly. Something drew the bees from the town. Fortunately, nobody died. 19 people were taken to hospital as their face had become grossly swollen. 2 children were treated for complicated leg break. They had fallen off some steps when they were running to hide. Most citizens looked miserable. And then this is it.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Very good, excellent. Yes. So before we finish,
yes.
Tell me like 5 words you remember from the new lesson.
Motion, set emotion.
Set in motion.
Set in motion. And superior complex.
Superiority complex.
Superiority complex. Superiority complex in
inferiority complex.
Inferiority complex. And something more difficult was, for example, at the end was what was
Sergeant Major? You mean at the end?
At the end was what was at the end? Oh my gosh! And it was.
Inferior, superior,
yeah,
rank,
major, rank,
sergeant.
And sergeant. And but at the very end was
gamble.
A gamble. Okay, gambling and shrinkage. Shrinkage.
Yeah, excellent. Very good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bye.